All right, for
Like,
real this time.
welcome to like the first episode of Universe Mo for WWE 2K25.
Uh, there you go. He did it. He did
Okay,
it for me.
cool.
Where you? Well, that's the
All,
intro now. That's the
all
intro.
flu infested me who can barely speak.
Yep. Uh, we're continuing the lore from last season. If you haven't watched last season, I got a whole playlist on it in my playlists. Uh, it's basically just fantasy booking. That's what we're doing with stories.
Yeah,
Most of them are probably ass, but some of them we be cooking occasionally.
we occasionally sound competent.
We occasionally sound like we should be hired by WWE to write this shit. And I think the fans would love my booking. Uh, of just inner nonstop same shit every single week. Anyway, here we are, first episode. Let's cut to the chase. Raw after Mania. It opens with Roxanne Perez coming out, crowd chanting that she deserves it. Brand new women's world champion. She finally picks up the mic to say something, but instead she's interrupted by, "This is my brutality." Rhea slowly makes her way to the ring with a mic in hand and says, "You got lucky. You didn't earn that championship. Trust me, if I wanted to, I could take that title off you at Backlash. But luckily for you, I have been given an opportunity to chase history. So for now, I'm going to focus on becoming the first ever Women's United States Champion. And when I'm done with that, I'm going to become the first ever double champ with the US Championship and World Championship. Every day you hold that title, it gets heavier. So enjoy your reign while you can. But I'll be back." Rhea leaves. Rox finally says to the crowd, "Thank you for all your support. I have had one hell of a year on the main roster, but I'm just getting started. Time to move on to my next chapter, defending this title until I can't get up anymore." So, my question is, who's first? This brings out one of Rox's childhood heroes, Natalia. Natalia gets in the ring, looks at the title, grabs a mic, and says, "Me and you, Backlash." Roxanne smiles and says, "See you there." All right. This match, first round in the Women's United States Championship Tournament. Chelsea Green versus Lola Vice. Chelsea wins. Continuing towards the goal that she said she wanted last year when I announced it. All right. Backstage, Roman and Jay. Oh, no, not backstage. Just Roman and Jay have a title celebration. They talk about doing right by the WWE Universe, so they're starting their title reign with a bang. Next week, they will host an open challenge. Mox comes out and says Money in the Bank is coming up and he's ready to win it again. Roman then brings up the main event. He says, "I'll be honest, Jay. I didn't expect to see you out there to cost Randy the win." "Yeah, well, Oos, you uh, you said I said I would strike him, and I did. As far as I'm concerned, he's behind me now." And the segment ends when Roman gets a text on his phone. He looks at it and smiles. Jay asks who it is, and Roman says, "It's the wise man. He wants to talk." Paul Heyman making his way back to Raw, where he belongs after running SmackDown to the ground last season. Anyways, next up, backstage, Undisputed Era locker room. We see the whole gang together. Cole says, "So despite us getting into that shitty predicament at Mania, you somehow managed to get out of it unscathed. Congrats." "Yeah, Finn, congrats," JD says as we see him raveled with taped up ribs. Uh, "Look, JD, you know I didn't mean for it to end up that way. You know if I could have pinned Priest, I would have." "Yeah, man, it's cool. It just hurts is all." Mello interrupts with, all right, good job, guys. But we need more gold. I think it's time we start making our way to the tag title picture, right? So who's gonna pursue? So who's gonna partner with me to take down Roman and Jay? Cole says, you know, I think JD's earned it. Just let his ribs heal a bit, and we'll answer an open challenge. We just gotta pray they keep the belts. You know what, Mello, JD, go chill at the hotel. We got it here. You've earned some rest. Now, as for me and Nakamura over there, Money in the Bank is coming up pretty quick. There's no faster way into the main event than that. Qualifiers start soon. We'll be there. And Rock's first title defense is against a childhood hero. I'm happy for you. You must be excited. Rock says, yeah, I am actually. I mean, you've all seen that clip of me as a kid with her. It's just a surreal moment. It's that old saying when your idols become your rivals. Does anyone know how that saying ends, or is that it? I think that might be it. Well, that's dumb. Okay, we get this match. Women's U.S. Championship Tournament. Rhea wins. Lol. Poor Shayna. Never will get pushed. All right, next up. Finn is walking backstage when he's run up on by Legado del Fantasma. Look who it is, the Intercontinental Champion. That's a nice belt you got there. But I think it would look better around my waist, Santos says. Really, Santos? You just got here and you think you earned a title shot? Oh, please. What the hell did you even do at SmackDown, huh? Enjoy the catering every week? Very funny, Finn. Look, how about this? You meet me in that ring tonight, and if I beat you, I get a title shot at Backlash. What do you say? Fine, whatever. Just get out of my way. Sets up the main event. Obafemi versus Logan Paul. Obafemi wins. Lol. Darula of Raw. All right. Final promo of the night. We see Gunther come out and say, "Last night at WrestleMania, I didn't do exactly what I wanted. Jey Uso stole that from me. But even though I didn't stack them, John Cena, it was an honor. Thank you for making me the greatest world champion of all time." Before he can say anything else, we hear Aleister Black's theme song come on. Gunther has a look of fear in him. The one man who completely destroyed him last year is back. The last time we saw him was at the Chamber when he broke his foot. Black walks to the ring, grabs a mic, and says, "At Backlash, I take that title off you. Accept the challenge or be known as a fraudulent champion forever." Gunther slowly backing away, nodding no, like he can't believe this is happening. Finally, he angrily works up the courage to say, "Fine. At Backlash, I finally put you behind me. At Backlash, I prove that I am the better man. And at Backlash, I wreak havoc on you." Gunther leaves the ring. Man, oh shit. Did I skip that part? Okay, I lied. One more promo package. This doesn't matter that I skipped it. We get a promo package saying Stephanie Vaquer coming soon. I think I skipped that. I'm not sure. If I didn't, then we get two on this show. All right, main event time. Santos has Garza in Los Garzas in his corner. Finn has Adam Cole. Just Adam Cole. Uh, the NC's Cole going to distract the ref and and Santos. While Cole is arguing with them both, Finn rushes Santos. Santos sees it last minute, pulls the ref and himself out the way. Finn crashes into Cole. Cole goes flying. Finn just stares at Cole shocked when Santos rolls him up for a victory. Santos Escobar wins. And that's your Raw.
Antos's first win in like a year.
Yep. If only SmackDown had booked them
I mean, he got booked, never to
properly.
win, but he got booked.
That goddamn Paul Heyman.
Are you
All
ready?
right, we're here on SmackDown now. Let's do it.
Alrighty. Paul Heyman opens the show in the ring. Heyman speaks about both Punk and Brock losing at WrestleMania and how he's being forced to resign as the general manager of SmackDown. Heyman says the front office asked him to pick out somebody who he thinks would be an adequate replacement for him. So he's here tonight to introduce the new general manager of SmackDown. Big E then comes down to the ring. Heyman officially announces Big E as the new GM of SmackDown, and Heyman leaves. As Big E is explaining his vision for SmackDown, Drew McIntyre comes out. Drew says he is happy to have a GM he can actually respect and how he looks forward to being his champion. Big E says he is grateful to have Drew as his champion, but one of his first orders of business is finding Drew a challenger for the belt. Seth Rollins then makes his way down to the ring. Seth speaks about being the final nail in the coffin for Paul Heyman as a GM and feels like he should be rewarded for his efforts. Drew accepts the offer and Big E makes it the main event for tonight. Big E then walks backstage and is confronted by the New Day, who celebrate Big E getting the job as the new general manager and ask when they are getting their tag title shots. Big E seems confused when Cross and the Final Testament arrive with Ricochet, now a part of the group. Cross laughs and says, Big E, congratulations, but I think I can handle this situation. New Day, first off, welcome to SmackDown. Cross then introduces each member of the Final Testament and closes with, and those are the tag team champions of this brand, the Authors of Pain. Now, I don't know how it worked on Raw, but over here you earn your title shots. So if you want a title shot, then go out there and earn it. New Day then looks back to Big E and says if they have to earn it, then Big E needs to send somebody out there so they can. And then get sent down to the ring. New Day versus Motor City Machine Guns. New Day pick up the win.
Damn already.
Final Testament is watching the match when Cody Rhodes confronts the group. He speaks about Ricochet turning on him at WrestleMania and costing them a chance at becoming two-time tag team champions. Ricochet says Cody had it coming. Time and time again, he put himself over the team. They were supposed to be partners, but I guess he had other plans. Cody laughs at this and says, You know what? That's all in the past now. All he cares about is getting his revenge on Ricochet. Just needs to know a time and a place. Ricochet laughs and says, You want a time and a place? Well, how about next week to close out the show? I get to show you what you were holding back this entire time. Um, Cora Jade then comes down to the ring for her title ceremony. As she is going through her journey to becoming the champion, she gets interrupted by Charlotte. Charlotte speaks about how it was fine when it was others she was screwing over, but at Mania she stepped on the Queen's toes, so now there's going to be consequences. As Charlotte and Cora have a stare down, Becky's music hits and she walks with a purpose down to the ring. She picks a mic up off the mat, and as she's about to speak, she nails Cora in the head with a mic. Charlotte just stands back and watches as Becky and Cora brawl. Security rushes in to separate them. We then cut backstage. We see a bunch of women all gathered around speaking about the women's tag titles, and all of them start making a claim to being the ones who are going to be Tiffany and Bliss. As the arguments continue, we see Big E enter the room and says, Everyone calm down. Big E announces a tournament to crown the next challengers for the titles. First match is between Team Bad, Kabuki Warriors, and the Outcast, and that match begins now. So we head down to the ring for the triple threat. Team Bad win. Sami Zayn is backstage with Bronson Reed being interviewed about losing his World Heavyweight title, and Rollins getting a shot before him getting his rematch. Sami says he doesn't want to be on the bad side of another GM, so he's going to have to live with his decisions, but he does say that he's next in line for whoever wins that match tonight. We go out to the ring. AJ Styles, Carlito. AJ Styles wins. AJ gets to the back and is interviewed about his plans this year. Speaks about a lack of success last year, but has plans to win some titles now. And first up is Braun Breaker. Kevin Owens then comes into frame and says if AJ wants, Kevin Owens comes into frame and says he wants the U.S. title. AJ and him bicker for a bit before a match gets made for next week. We then see Charlotte confront Big E about potential title opportunity as the previous champion. She also mentions how she didn't get involved in the brawl between Becky and Cora earlier tonight and how she feels like she should be rewarded for that. Um, uh, Big E says he appreciates Charlotte not getting involved, but he feels like if he doesn't handle this Becky and Cora situation, then it may become a bigger issue. Charlotte says let her handle that situation for him. Give her a match against Becky, and so that they could decide a new number one contender, and then she'll get her shot against Cora. Biggie agrees and makes the match in a couple of weeks due to next week's card already being full. We then head down to the ring. Seth Rollins, Drew McIntyre for the World Heavyweight title. Um, in the end, we see Drew McIntyre having to roll up Seth Rollins, gets a handful of tights, and beats him and gets the 3 count. But obviously, he needed to hold on to the tights to win. Seth Rollins is left shocked in the ring that Drew had to stoop to that measure to win.
Tragic. We're both using the tights grabbing.
Mine was written first.